Everybody, welcome to Third Coast Gaming Radio. Today is Sunday. It's December 6th. It's episode 11. I'm Travis Doyle, and I'm joined by my host, Austin Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Double digits after 10.
We
made
double
'em.
digits. I can write home about this one. Man, I put that Amazon link in that Google Docs because I just wanted to open the show with these these Halo toys, because, Halo Infinite's delayed, but I can still get a Master Chief, I guess. There was some
Yeah.
ad on, like, The Verge or something. It was like, hey, you should buy these Halo toys because you're a gamer. And I was like, maybe I should. Verge, maybe I should.
Halo Infinite might be delayed, but really, the true Halo is the friends we made along the way,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is why you should buy this highly articulated figurine of Spartan Cat B320 with posable weapons and accessories.
So I want this Halo. There's a red. If you look up World of Halo figures on Amazon, there's this one it's a red Spartan, and he just has a SMG and I don't know, it looks like some brute weapon. Look at those hands. Look at that gold visor, Austin. $35. I can get it for 20 actually. Someone's
I
selling
should,
them for
I should
20.
probably mention that we are not being paid for this, by the way.
No, not at all. I just
This
thought
is
these were dumb
just,
looking.
yeah, you just decided to open this up with talking about Halo action
Yeah,
figures
just
that are exclusive to Amazon,
yeah.
that some of which come with packaged in Halo Infinite game add-ons.
Ah, sick. I can get the blue battle rifle if I buy this pack. There's not actually a blue battle rifle. I made that up. This one has Brute Chieftain, and it's from Halo 4. What was I gonna say about Halo? Oh man, it's all slipping by me. Oh yeah, I had a vision, Austin, where I was like, man, Master Chief is gonna get cancer, and he's gonna try to pay for his kids' bills, and him and Arbiter are just gonna cook meth. It's just breaking Halo.
See, that doesn't work for several reasons.
Ah, shit.
Partially because Master Chief and every other Spartan in the Spartan 2 program was castrated.
Oh, he's got his kids are adopted. Him and Cortana adopted kids after Halo
See, that
Infinite.
also doesn't work.
Yeah, and he has Spartan cancer. It's like worse. Yeah. Chieftain. What else is in here? I want the Mongoose Master Chief with a rocket launcher. Rocket launchers, Austin. All right, this bit's dead.
Yeah, I think this bit needs to be
Uh-huh.
buried.
Yeah. All right, man. Galactus ate Fortnite. We watched that trailer before this. Looks cool.
Yeah.
They're putting money into Fortnite to do stuff.
Oh wow, yeah. It's wild. They're finally putting money into Fortnite.
Oh yeah, Iron Man was there, and they played an AC/DC song that came out in the year of 2020. And the
Yeah,
battle buses shot Galactus.
yeah. Battle bosses turned into X-wings for a bit and attacked Galactus.
I wish if the battle buses had S foils, they'd be way cooler. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, but so would like everything, right?
Yeah, Galactus looks pretty good though.
Yeah, I don't know. See, the more I see events like this, the more I'm like, man, maybe Fortnite. But then like I watch them, and then I realize that like this is the only time that anything like this is happening. I'm like, actually, maybe not Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh, Thor was hanging out on the side of the bus too. He's just like I will throw my hammer at him, and he threw his hammer at him. I think this is the capstone for the Marvel event they were doing for season 4. So
Yeah,
they're
maybe.
changing the map for season 5, and then you wake up and you're just in control at the end. Oh, you're not in control, but you wake up and a phone's ringing and you're at a desk,
Yeah,
and it's
you're at
Jonesy.
some weird desk. Is season 5 happening right now?
What?
Oh yeah, so season 5 is happening right
Yeah,
now.
the map's out. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This happened
Uh,
on December 1st, I guess, like 5 days ago, I guess. I didn't play it at all, but maybe I'll jump on it.
yeah, so it looks like they're pulling in like season 5 is just about seemingly pulling in like powerful, like cool characters. Because
Nice. Oh
once we move
yeah.
on to our next news bit,
Oh yeah.
We
Like
do
Kratos
everyone's
and
favorite emotionally abusive dad, Kratos.
yeah. Oh, and there's these Halo stuff coming to the fucking Xbox One too. Speaking of Halo shit,
Yeah,
I
get your
want to
little mongoose.
Jesus. Yeah, I want a little mongoose. I guess I'm getting these on Xbox. I want to buy the Pelican. I think that's your
It's a parachute.
yeah, it's the parachute's just a Pelican. That's great.
That's that's all right. I
Yeah.
can I can mess with that. Yeah, you can even look like Master Chief, and this is a good design for Master Chief. I actually like the sort of cartoony Halo Infinite armor in like the Fortnite aesthetic.
I don't even see the Master Chief armor. Where is it?
Yes, when you go to the story that we're looking at on the inverse, when you click on like the tweet, it's the first image of like the three,
Oh,
right? So it'll
weird. They.
redirect you to Twitter. It's an embedded tweet.
Oh, okay, I got it. The
Yeah,
picture was not there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good. He's crossing his arms. He looks like a Super Smash Brothers trophy. You know.
yeah, yeah. Like in
Good.
the vibrant like nature of like most of Fortnite's colors, like does I think some really good like wonders for his armor, especially coming off of like Halo 4. Uh, for me, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if these are gonna come to PC too, if it's just gonna be Xbox. So, guess we'll have to see. Mandalorian and do they call him the baby? I don't watch a lot of Mandalorian.
So the baby has a name now.
Okay. Is it
Um,
Reese?
no, I
Oh
don't.
shit.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Or
go for it. I don't care.
oh, the name of the baby is Grogu.
Grogu. All right.
Yeah,
Cool. He follows you around, and you get your sniper rifle.
yeah. You get like that ridiculously powerful sniper rifle that he has in the Mandalorian that he, for some odd reason, never uses.
Yeah, I should. Is all of season 2 for the Mandalorian out yet? 'Cause
No, no.
no.
There's like 6 episodes right now, but it is like good.
Okay.
Like this season has been. I'm not like particularly into the Mandalorian, but so far the season has been fun to watch
Nice.
in a way that I don't think like the first season was.
Well, I didn't feel like benching the first season, so I was like, well, I have to just wait for season 2. So
Yeah,
I guess now is a good time
yeah.
to
I mean,
get
the thing
into
with
it.
like yeah, and the thing with the Mandalorian is it is just like the very vignette like story like structure within like the
Yeah.
first season and like a good amount of the second season too. Like we just got through the 6th episode of the second season, and now I think the final 2 episodes are going to be like about the same story because I think they're still doing like 8 episode seasons.
Cool. Because they do, and you say vignette, they're like short story kind of, or they're standalone, right?
Yeah, they're all like pretty standalone, right? So
I was just checking.
every
Sorry. Go on.
yeah, every episode in like in the middle of the first season is like a vignette story, right? So the first 3 are like one story, and then you have like the middle 3 of the first season, which are all like independent vignettes, and then you get like another kind of conclusion arc at the end of the first season. Um, and it
Nice.
looks like you were doing a relatively similar thing here with season 2 by the end.
Cool. Yeah, I like you know well Western short stories. They're getting with Star Wars right now. I don't know, more Star Wars westerns. Go for it.
I mean, yeah,
They need a change of pace.
like I mean, it's cool, right? Like it is cool Star Wars,
Yeah.
um, which is really all anyone wants to interact with.
Yeah. Not I don't know, I'm not gonna get into the new trilogy. It's fine. They're fine.
We
I don't
don't
care
have to.
anymore.
Yeah, we don't have
They
to.
should make a. I think they're probably talking about it, but they should just do the Obi-Wan thing as a TV show and throw it on Disney Plus since nobody gives a shit about movie theaters right now.
I mean, I feel like that's what they've been do like they've had that sort of scope for it for a while, right? Like first it was going to be a movie, and then they're like, oh, it's going to be like a Disney Plus series.
It'd be they're probably just making more money off of Disney Plus than movie theaters, man.
I mean, yeah, I mean, especially at this point.
Yeah.
But I remember they said it was put on an indefinite hold. Not like they're not going to move forward with it, but they just don't know how to at the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's like the only time you have him doing anything is between 3 and 4. But maybe he'll be like, hire some dude, be like, hey, I need you to babysit Luke from a distance while I
Oh, they're
go off on an
doing,
adventure.
yeah, all right. Oh, they're doing filming. Their news updates that it's filming
Oh, cool.
in England, which is, yeah, all
Nice.
right, cool, dope. I'm glad to see that there's like some progress in that project because I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I mean they're making a profit off of Mandalorian, so I guess they're starting to expand the Star Wars Disney Plus cinematic universe. I mean they're
Oh
all
yeah,
connected, but you know what I mean.
yeah. Well, it's never
Yeah.
like a question of profit, more is just like, did they understand the project they wanted to make?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Let's get to other
Star
news.
Wars is good. To other news,
Turns
big
out source
ones.
is good.
Yeah. This is from an Ad Age article by Elise Liffring. It's about the PS5 outspending Microsoft launch ads 3-1. I guess in the from October 19th to November 9th, the statistics they have is that Sony spent 7.3 million on advertising. Xbox had about 3 million, and Nintendo's been doing some stuff too for about 1.6 million. So I
Yeah.
thought that was like an interesting get. I mean, they have the money to tell people to get their console.
Well, it's also like it's more than like they have the money. It's also like their priorities with like selling systems, right? Like,
Mhm.
not to mention the fact that like earlier this year, Xbox, Microsoft got like a lot of what I'll like generously say is basically free ad revenue when they made that Bethesda deal, and everyone freaked out about it.
Definitely, yeah. Getting
Um,
there.
yeah,
Sorry, go
so
for it.
PlayStation needs to spend like a lot more money pushing ads to sell consoles and like systems, more so than I would say like Microsoft really does, especially if they're pushing the Game Pass angle, and more so than like Nintendo does, considering just I don't think they plan on moving forward with like a new console yet.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's probably selling pretty well right now. I keep hearing that their business is especially booming in Japan for this Switch Lite. That thing is, it's like $200, and it's just they're just going.
Yeah, man, like we are like working retail. We are moving a lot of Switches.
Yeah, people like them.
Yeah. So it's not like particularly surprising to see that like Sony, who is still like really selling the PlayStation 5 as this like really, we'll say, traditional console experiences, has completely eclipsed Microsoft in like the budget that they've
Yeah,
spent
they
on
want
all
people
their
to
ad
get their
revenue.
box.
Yeah, especially when you look at this graph, like this is weekly ad spend by video game companies.
Hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it's PlayStation's 7.3 million, and then just everyone else
Yeah, although I think I have been seeing
is below.
more Xbox ads on YouTube than
Yeah,
PlayStation 5 ones, but that's because I only have been seeing ads on YouTube compared to like I don't have cable. So
yeah, and that's the other thing is like I see a lot of like Xbox ads on YouTube, um, and from what I'm seeing with like PlayStation, they're also like sponsoring events, right? So you still see like a lot of PlayStation sponsorship ads on like ESPN.
I think Travis Scott had a PS5 ad.
Yeah.
I think we were talking
I
about that.
I know what's the who's the ESPN commentator? Um,
ESPN commentator,
yeah, there's like that
Xbox.
sports commentator. Well, no, for PlayStation. Steve
Oh,
Smith, right? Or Stephen A. Smith?
that's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's that dude. Um, yeah, Stephen A. Smith. They had like Sony had him do an introduction to Miles Morales like ad series.
Interesting.
where he talked about Miles Morales, like the character, and I just think that was very funny.
Is you a big Spider-Man fan? That's the
I
question. I mean,
I don't
anyone's
know.
a Spider-Man fan, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Everyone is, right? Like
Yeah,
Miles Morales was the star of an Oscar award-winning movie,
movie's very good.
like not even 2 years ago. Like the character was the star of.
Yeah,
So like everyone, a lot of people know. Everyone knows who Miles Morales is.
yeah. I guess
But
they want to know about Insomniac's Miles Morales.
yeah,
Which in generalities they're mostly the same. The same idea, but they're different. The one I think he's younger in the PS5 game.
I think he's
About the
younger in
same age.
Spider-Verse.
He's
Yeah, like
yeah, he's younger in
he's
Spider Verse.
yeah, and the other thing with Spider-Verse is that his dad isn't dead.
Oh, that's right. They did do that in that game. I thought that
Yeah,
was too early to do that, but nah, whatever.
I mean,
Maybe he'll come back as a bad guy.
I don't really have my opinions around like Jefferson Davis, the cop,
Yeah,
and father of Miles Morales do not necessarily revolve around like how early he was killed off, as much as they do with the other things around that character. But like they really just wanted to get like Miles and Peter like in the same room together, right? Find a reason for them to interact together.
yeah. All right.
So that's why
Let's
you
go to the
blow
next
them
one.
up.
I got an ad. I got this Vice story by Patrick Klepek, and it was talking about how. So there was some internal doc that was talking about activities on the PS5, and the quote I kind of pulled out of it was how they were talking about that. I'm guessing I didn't get too much further than like I think this is about single player is striving on the PS5 specifically, and that a lot of people are playing offline. Um, do you know
Yes,
if that's are there a lot of people were they getting a lot of numbers of people playing offline on PS4 as well?
yeah, like that's the thing, right? So what happens is like this is basically the internal doc that made them sort of kind of my understanding is this is the doc that made them go all in on the activities functionality of certain PlayStation 5 games, right? So when you go down this article, you're going to find a video by Klepek, where he's playing Miles Morales and he's swinging around for a bit, and then he launches into this like activities interface where he gets to like look at the next like part of a quest line, right? And if he opens it up, it's gonna like tell him the amount of time it will take to complete the quest and where it is, I think, and you can just press play on that, and it will immediately teleport Miles to the next part of this quest, right? Um, so this is like this is basically internal reasoning for uh, the utility of the activities feature, right?
Hmm. That's cool. I'm glad they're like they know they're as we've seen there are a lot of Sony puts a lot of focus on their single player first party stuff. A lot of people are that first Spider-Man game sold very well. People, because there was a talk about like the death of the single player game and how people only want big multiplayer games but that's because they were kind of popular at a time and they were making
Yeah,
money. But people do both. In my life, I have my multiplayer stuff that are more like a hobby thing I come back to, and then there's like your good single player game, which can be compared to like I'm watching getting my AAA movie experience.
yeah, yeah. But the thing to note about like that particular discourse is that was never being made by like people who cared or like understood, right? That was always a argument being made by people who wanted to push multiplayer games on like a company level, right?
Yeah.
Like when the reality of it was like always that single player games had been thriving, and there's never any real evidence to show that single player games weren't thriving when like produced in such a way that people like can instantly latch onto them in the way that like Sony's house style does, right? Or like when they were appropriately marketed with like an actual budget and that type of deal. So when we look at like this story, this is specifically like Sony trying to, I think, streamline uh like a single player experience, right? Um, like you're not like when you look through this activities like dashboard, you're not going through like a map, scanning around looking for activities you haven't done. You're just in this pop-up menu with icons that are going to tell you what the next part of whatever quest you are on is and like where you need to go do it, and it will just take you there.
Yeah, and I thought the good thing from the article that I liked is that from their Sony doc, they're like, yeah, our players are spending more time offline than offline online right now, which makes that activity stuff cool. Like I wish I had a PS5 for Miles Morales because I'm curious about actually sitting down and just flipping between. Oh
Oh, Craig left
no, F in the chat for Craig. It's all right. Well, I'm recording internally anyway, so whatever.
for your
I'll just cut
boy
this part
Craig.
out. Are you on Audacity recording?
Yeah, I'm on Audacity.
Yeah, we'll just keep going. Yeah, that stuff's cool, and I think that like the basis for like multiplayer stuff having good sales is that like in the article there's a link to like the PS4 sales numbers that like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Black Ops 4 are the best selling, but that doesn't mean that like single player games aren't they're not selling as well, but they're still selling a lot. But it's like, obviously Rockstar's and Activision's two games are like those are some of the best selling games of all time. Like they just have like a mass market appeal.
Yeah, and like, and the thing to know with like Grand Theft Auto 5 specifically is that like it does come with a like very large single player component, right? Like Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
5 is a very appealing game for several reasons. Um, outside of just Grand Theft Auto Online can be fun
Yeah.
if you
Well, I
play it
think
with the right people.
yeah. I think in the beginning it's been a lot of people got the online for a lot of people started in this, in the single player. Like a lot of the early sales life was the single player, but I think it's kept selling because of online and it
Yeah,
coming out to PS4 again. I'm glad that they were talking about it. I just thought it was an interesting story.
yeah, I think like the things about this story that do like concern me is like how is in fact the activities feature takes off.
Hmm.
Right, because this is like one of two major social and like single player like sort of like help things that they were pushing that between like activities and their like community video initiative that Sony's trying to do. I do like sort of worry about how games are going to be designed around this.
Yeah.
Because I remember the when Klepek wrote this story, he paired it with a tweet, and the wording that he used in this tweet was that the activities feature in Miles Morales made like this game very efficient. Right, like it made playing this game very efficient. It was very easy to like slot like time into this to go through the side quests of Miles Morales and play. And that is like to me anyway, like kind of concerning language as we talk about like open world design.
Yeah, that they are at least for the PS5 games is going to change that. Um, do you want to go on to this Forza thing?
Yeah, you can talk about Forza.
Yeah, so there's this. It's from Apples by Moise Benori. It looks like Forza Horizon 5 is going to come out next year, which is interesting for the Xbox thing. Cause I think the most recent Forza game was Forza Horizon 4 last year. Because usually the Horizon like release timeline is here's a Forza Motorsport game and then here's a Forza Horizon game. So Motorsport 7 came out in 2017 and then Horizon 4 was 2018. But I think they're delaying Motorsport 7 because it came out with like middling reviews and they want to put more time into making sure it's like a leap that's like not just like an annualized like release, but they want it to be more like a new like not vision for the game, but I think they want to do something different with it.
Yeah, and
So
the thing to also note is like, you know, uh, like COVID did push back like development on the the one oh ooh no, I don't want this ad, thank you. The Forza Motorsport,
mhm.
um, the Forza game that they've like already announced.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess like isn't the thing with like Horizons is that this is like a big open world as compared to like the more like linear like track based stuff that you get in Motorsport.
Yeah, Horizon's the open world stuff and Motorsport's the just you're leveling and going through tracks, yeah.
Yeah. So like you play Forza.
A little bit.
You play
Mostly
these.
yeah.
Is like is there like still an emphasis on like just like sick fast cars in Horizon, or is this also like a sort of like that Ubisoft car game? Was it Project Cars? I think it was.
Mhm.
That's all about like customizing cars for like a variety of situations, like on and off road.
Um Yeah, I mean, there's still sick fast cars in Horizon. I mean, the last one I played, Horizon 3 was the last one I played. That's
Hmm.
when it was doing that stuff. I mean, they're still sick fast cars. What are you trying to?
Well, I guess like my question is like, what is
Yeah,
the gameplay loop of that? Like, are you still just like, are you just on like civil, like like public roads doing street races,
in
or are you
Horizon,
racing
yeah.
through like forests and like trying not to hit trees?
Uh, it's both. I mean, most of the races are on streets, but you can drive in the open world and avoid and hit trees if you want to.
Hmm.
I mean, it's still like you're in the open world and you're going to missions that are you have races and like drifting missions and then some other stuff. That makes sense.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to understand like the difference between like the Horizon and like motorsport games.
Oh, so motorsport, it'll bring up a menu and it'll ask you to do races on like you're not. I don't think you're in streets as much as motorsport. Motorsport, it's more like a Gran Turismo experience where you're picking races and you're doing cups and you're like buying new cars and upgrading them to make more money. And I think Horizon is just more open world.
Okay.
Yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, I gotcha. All right. There was some battle royale rumors coming out for Halo Infinite and the community director kind of came off and said that they're unfounded. You know, they so Brian Jared was coming out saying nothing gets all post holiday Monday going like fresh unfounded Halo Infinite rumors. But I don't know. Maybe he's just being cheeky because they are doing it, but maybe they're not. But I think people just want to talk about Halo Infinite. I think they said they were going to come out and talk more about it at the end of this year, at least. I think that's what Giant Bomb was talking about when they were talking about this article.
Yeah. So like So like yeah, so Brian Jarrett is saying like in the second like in the follow up to his tweet that they are working on like a year end sort of review video for the progress on Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know, I don't know. When people talk about rumors being false, I always kind of take that with a grain of salt, considering just how much of the secrecy of like games as an industry kind of does demand that developers lie
Yeah.
in like public facing interactions, and you get a lot of this with like the Naughty Dog interactions with press pre like the launch of The Last of Us 2 and that sort of thing. Um, I doubt they're actively working on it, right? Like I don't know if they don't have like a vision
Mhm.
for what a Halo Battle Royale would look like, but I doubt they're actively working on it right now.
Yeah, I
Is where
mean,
I'm at.
they're probably more wanting, you know, they're trying to make sure the campaign is good for that open world
Yeah,
campaign,
like that's
which
the
is
thing,
something
right?
they've really never done before. And then like the multiplayer, the team deathmatch, the capture the flags, the that free to play thing they're doing with it. I mean, I would be surprised if when this came out and the free to play multiplayer was a battle royale and the regular modes. But I'm if I were a betting man, I would say it would. I would think it would just be the regular multiplayer deathmatch stuff and not a battle royale. I think that would come later.
Yeah, like this thing isn't coming out with a battle royale, and I doubt we're gonna have one by the. And the rumor was that there'll be a mode in 2021 at some
Yeah.
point, and I doubt we're gonna get a mode in 2021,
Hmm.
especially if this is like a games as like a service kind of deal, and they tease
Hmm.
that a bit like this year. So if that's sort of the thing here for Halo Infinite, I don't think they're gonna add a battle royale
Yeah, and I think
anytime soon.
the battle royale would be a cool like if you're thinking about like a life cycle of a game. Like it comes out, you have the free stuff, you have the campaign. Year two to bring people back. Like that would be a good time to put the battle royale in. It's like you don't want to put everything out at once. You know.
Yeah, but what would a Halo battle royale even look like?
What's up?
Like what even would like a Halo battle royale do?
I mean, what
Is my
every battle
question.
royale would do, you know,
Well, it's like
100 Spartans drop, and there's some
yeah,
vehicles on the map, and you pick up some weapons.
yeah, but like the other thing that we're seeing with battle royales is like are like tiered weapons, and like adding attachments, like like either you have like the tiered weapons of a Call of Duty or Fortnite, or you have like modular weapons with like tiered add-ons, like you have in Apex. And Halo
Yeah,
has never done like either of those things.
yeah, but you know they might. I mean, I don't think there wasn't a lot of that in Titanfall, and I think they when they
Yeah,
made Apex, they thought about that stuff and how to do it with attachments and stuff like that. I will talk about like what Hyperscape does is you have the first version of a weapon you pick up as a common, and if you see that weapon again and pick it up, it just it'll make its magazine bigger, or it'll make its damage numbers a little bigger, or it'll give it a better scope, and you can upgrade them like 4 times pretty much. So it wouldn't be too difficult. You would just pick up a new assault rifle, and it would be a higher like rarity assault rifle, and it probably might do some damage, have a bigger magazine.
yeah. And like that's like the only thing I could really think of is the thing though, right? Like you pick up like your first assault rifle and it's like the Halo like 4 or 5 like standard like 32 mag, and like as you increase your assault rifle, like you rank it up, it becomes like the Halo 160 mag
Yeah.
assault rifle maybe, but like but even that is like I don't know if that's a
What?
direction for Halo that I'm particularly
Yeah.
interested in.
Well, if it's free to play and if it's a battle royale, like I have no like problems. Like I would play a Halo battle royale. If I think there are people who are still like Halo is their favorite game, like that, people would stick with it. You know, it'd be like I think Halo is a big enough property to where they should do a battle royale. It's like
Yeah,
it's fun for certain people. I'm not that into it, but I know a lot of people like it and it's popular. So I think
Yeah, but like as we just
it's
described that loop, I
yeah,
don't know if that loop and Halo meshing together interests me, is the thing.
yeah, yeah. And I know you're not too big of a battle royale guy, also. So, but I can see it being very like well made, and it shoots like Halo, and you get some vehicles, and you're riding around with two other friends in a warthog, causing trouble, as you do in like a PUBG where you're getting in a vehicle and
Oh
driving
yeah.
around the map. So
See, like that would get me. Like if that was like a function, like a main function of like what a Halo Battle Royale is, you just finding vehicles, getting in and messing about with the lads. Um, that would probably get me in there at some point. I don't know if it'd have much staying power. Um, like I could definitely see myself messing with it for a bit if it just seemed like these like Halo shenanigans in a big
yeah,
sandbox.
and if we're talking about like this being like a live service game, if they have the development like team set up in a way, it's like yeah, you have. If I think of it as a live game that wants to update, there's like three parts of Halo Infinite. There's like the team who's working on the battle royale. There's the team who's working on the multiplayer, like the regular PvP events, and there's the team that might be putting out DLC for the single player slash co-op campaign. That's like an open world thing where they'll put new maps out for it, new areas. Like it would be like, yeah, you have the battle royale. It's like maybe they'll do if it if it sells well enough and it's like an investment they put in it where they see people interacting with it. They'll have some Fortnite events. Like there's the Galactus event in Fortnite. I could see like weird events like that coming to the Halo Battle Royale because you know that's how you update those kind of things. Like that's how you do like you know maybe it's like new characters. Who knows what they'll do? I'm sure they're not. They might do 100 Spartans, or they might do like different characters with abilities in it. I could see like an someone gets to be the arbiter. I mean, there's like a bunch of arbiters running around, but their abilities like the invisibility thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Like, I could see them doing like of characters with like your own customized Spartan with different abilities, more so than like everyone plays like a Master Chief. There's like a 100 Master Chiefs dropping onto an island. And the thing that I should note, and this is like something I forgot about because of my own like lack of experience with like Halo 5, is that there are like mythic weapons in Halo 5, in Halo 5's multiplayer, right? So you have like your like cards that give you mythic weapons. So you have things like a more powerful rocket launcher and like George's George from Halo Reach's like turret that he carries around.
Yeah,
So like
like
I
what if
could
they just did a DLC for the Halo Infinite Battle Royale that was just like a Reach themed one? They got you a
yeah.
bunch of armor skins from Reach and the vehicles that look like it, and they can get very nostalgic with like updates for a multiplayer thing like that if
God, that is the thing.
that's what the plan ends up being.
I just want my Spartans to look like Halo Reach again is the other thing.
Yeah.
Because man, I don't like the look of anything they've done with their multiplayer.
Oh, for like Infinite or Halo 5?
For like Halo like 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4's is a little I I'm okay with 5's. I'm besides the clanking of the armor, they look okay. But I'm not picky. I'm easy to please, Austin. Now, what's this other thing coming out? Oh yeah, there's a Kotaku article about Square Enix aiming for a better work-life balance, and they're doing a permanent work-from-home option. This is coming out from Brian Ashcraft. It sounds like that people are getting to choose if they want to just work at home starting December 1st for their Japanese companies at least.
Yeah, so like as we go into this, it sort of reveals that a certain a select amount of people, like it's not saying that everyone can do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that like certain members, like certain team members on devs and such, can choose to apply to work from home. Um, and that like now gives them like two tiers of employees, right? So you have your home-based employees and your office-based employees, and that does not mean like they like basically means that they spend at least on average, I believe in the quote here, working an average of 3 days per work week in either their home or office, respectively.
Hmm.
So it doesn't mean like people who are working from home or who are home based are not going to go into the office. It just means they won't be going into it as much as other people, and probably not the same time as people who are office based. So that way they can make sure that like not everyone is in the building at the same time,
Yeah.
which is like I think this is good. Like this is like a pretty good sort of like COVID measure to me.
Agreed. And if there's people who can do their job from home even after COVID, I think we see the workplace kind of shifting. So I'm kind of like more excited about people being able to do that. So they don't have to commute and drive to home, work and back. I mean, there's people who like going to office. So I think it's cool that they're giving them the option.
Yeah, and like the other thing to note here is I believe this is because they emphasize that a lot of this is okay. So division heads will designate. This is from the quote that they provided to that Square provided to Kotaku. Division heads will designate some positions or individual employees as office based, as dictated by the nature of the work involved. So like certain leadership positions, um, as well as like unique like credited positions will probably have to still be working in the office on the regular, but that seems like it's going to be left up to teams on a sort of project basis.
Hmm. That's true. We had some other stuff coming from, I guess, the Mass Effect and Dragon Age lead left Bioware. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
We want to get into this. All right. Um, yeah. So sort of the day before what is tentatively like Dragon Age Day um, for the Bioware community and the Dragon Age community is we got the news that the GM of Bioware, Casey Hudson, and the Dragon Age EP, Mark Darrah, are leaving the studio, uh, calling this their retirement from the studio. And this is not the first time Hudson has left BioWare. He left BioWare, I think, like 2012, 2013, when Microsoft was really trying to push uh, their VR alternative, which I think is called I know I completely forget the name of the Microsoft VR thing, the HoloLens.
HoloLens, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And both Darrah and Hudson left behind these relatively long sort of goodbye posts, and as they would, they've been at Bioware for decades at this point. As they sort of took the time to reflect on like their work at Bioware and sort of try to promote the continued work of the people who are still at that studio. Um, it reveals a lot of the sort of the shifting internal like responsibilities of certain studios, right? So like in these goodbye posts, we learned that the Bioware Austin studio is like getting a lot of responsibilities for Anthem. We also learned that the studio director for the Bioware Austin studio is Christian Daly is taking over as the executive director of Dragon Age of that current project. And it's just it's pretty wild because this was just incredibly abrupt. Like they are not announcing that they're leaving at like the end of the month
Yeah.
or like the current pay period or whatever. They left. They're not
Yeah.
there anymore.
I guess BioWare is changing. It's we've seen the shuffling. After Andromeda came out and people, Anthem was weird. They're like, I guess they need to restructure some stuff. You know.
Yeah, I mean they definitely did. Like I've kind of believed that they needed to restructure a lot of BioWare like for a while now, especially when I believe it was Schreier Jason Schreier wrote up a story about like the development of Mass Effect Andromeda and how there was really no plan for the longest time of like what that game would be until like the final leg of development when they realized like when they actually had like a scope and vision for like what the game they were going to make was. Um, and it's and part of what that story revealed is that that was not a particularly odd occurrence at BioWare, right? Like it wouldn't happen on like that tight a deadline, but there would still be this like environment in BioWare where they would be developing like and altering like the game up until the last minute, um, hoping for what I believe was referred to as BioWare magic, air quotes, to save the day.
Yeah, and it's a complete. Anthem was a different game for them too, but I think like it's like a shifting of the guard. They're trying to reset up their what kind of games they make.
Well, yeah, I don't know, it's just odd. And the thing there is like when like the community response to this was like not particularly great, right? So it's a lot of like these are both big names that people know, and just social media comments are like, "Oh, Bioware's never gonna be the same," and it's just strange to me that like people think like either Hudson or Darrah were going to have like enough pull or power within the company to like steer the ship back to like the RPGs that they want them to make, which are I'm just gonna say not RPGs I particularly enjoy anymore.
Oh, the original 3 Mass Effect and Dragon Age
Yeah.
2. Oh,
Well, I mean, well,
yeah.
like, and then like
But I think
Dragon Age.
they reverse those. Anyway, yeah, we don't have to get into it. I get these sing content every now and then, but I think this is adding like, hey, we kind of like have a set period or a schedule when we're actually gonna be putting our new content out, except for instead of like when it's done, I guess. And it
Yeah,
gives
so it's like,
people who are playing it, some stuff.
yeah, this dev update presented by the dude who had a monkey throw up on his shirt
Oh,
sometime last year.
I don't think I saw that.
Uh, it was it was uncomfortable. It was bad.
Yeah, was he just like he had a monkey for his Sea of Thieves update video?
Yeah, there's like this promotional thing that they were doing. I think it was a stream. He was playing the game and there's just a monkey on his shirt and just threw up twice on it. It's real
Okay,
bad. Don't Google it.
I'm googling
Oh no.
it. That sounds like a thing. Anyway, well, that's what happens.
Yeah,
You wanna get the aesthetics of having a monkey on your shoulder like you're a pirate, and then
yeah.
the
But then the
real monkey.
consequences.
Yeah, that's right.
Should
That's
be
funny.
ashamed of your words and deeds.
Anyway, that's cool that they're doing stuff.
Yeah. So this is like I don't know. Like Sea of Thieves continues to like evolve in a game that like I'll probably never play much of, but like it's always interesting to see like how they add in things like what they've been doing. Like this is like they're doing an in-game festival here. They've also got like increased. Let's see, blah 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 blah. Blah. Reading all this stuff now.
They're
Do they
just doing a
have?
bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
They
So
got
like, do
battle
they
pass,
have like what they
cosmetics,
have in the
new
Tumblr? Yeah.
events.
So it's like cosmetics events. I just remember this came out. It was just like a game with a lot of water and some islands and also some chests that you can pick up.
playing it with some friends of mine a couple weeks ago. It was just on Game Pass, and we were like, yeah, let's just go mess around with this. Yeah, it's it's not like it's not a Destiny. You're not getting loot to make your number higher. You're just going out and hanging out with your friends and sailing, and then you do stuff on an island. I mean, there are people who are into that. Kind of a chill game.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
So
So this is the first time they've done seasons, is what this is sounding like.
yeah, because I think they used to just whenever they finished a content, they would release the update for it, and then they might preview their next content update in that
Yeah.
kind of cycle.
So I think this is like an interesting way to sort of set up a roadmap for players, to like this kind of pivot to a plunder pass is what they're calling it, and like seasons of content. I think is an interesting way to sort of imply that there is a roadmap for changes
Yeah, I
being
hope
made
in
to
that battle
CFD.
pass I can get an emote for my monkey where he'll throw up on my shirt. That's what I want.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't either. Had to make a joke about it. All
But
right,
like
moving
something
on.
but something to note at the
Oh
end of
yeah, go
this
for it.
is that the updates is like this is from the GameSpot article uh, by Richard Wakeling. Is that the updates to the game's adventure mode will result in development ceasing on Sea of Thieves' PvP based arena mode. Uh,
I
so they're
didn't
not
even
going
know
to
there
add,
was arena.
yeah. So it sounds like it's going to stay active, but they are not going to update it further after this.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm sure not a lot of people were playing the PvP stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
probably why.
I feel like it has. Yeah, I mean, probably does not have like enough people to keep it sort of going. But like, I imagine there are probably like dozens of people upset.
Yeah, oh, just dozens. Um, well, the opposite of people being upset is that Persona 5 Strikers is coming out the West, and it is February 23rd, 2021. That's their like Dynasty Warriors Persona game that I was watching the trailer and it looks really cool. But just like the Breath of the Wild one, I don't think I'm gonna play it until it goes on sale. I'll pay $30 for these things.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, no,
Got
I
the
don't like
music.
it.
I like the
Yeah,
music.
the music's all right. It's not particularly interesting.
What?
The music of
Oh,
Persona
boo,
5.
boo,
I don't, it's not good. I don't know. I
boo.
think Persona
It's
5 is a really
jazzy.
bad game. Yeah, it's bad jazz.
Oh, it's good jazz. I like it. Hey, to each
It's
their own. It's all right. I'll agree to
like,
disagree.
it has its moments, but like, I did not remember much of that game's soundtrack aside from like, wake up, get out there.
Yeah. There's some like ambient music that's really good too.
Yeah. The ambient music's good, generally speaking. Like, that's because it's just the most calming thing. And I also don't remember liking like the vocal performance of most of Persona 5's music.
Oh yeah, some of it's like it's like the Japanese singer is singing in English, and it can be it's a little jarring. I don't know.
I just remember the mix being like bad,
Oh, I
right?
don't
I
know.
don't,
I just listen to. I have like a YouTube like playlist of the songs I would just like listen to. Yeah,
yeah, I
like I
don't know.
said,
Maybe like
difference
turning
of
it into a
opinion.
Muso might make Persona 5 fun, you know?
Ha ha ha.
Um,
I don't know. I don't have the time to do 80 hours of a RPG, but I usually get to the first dungeon in a Persona game.
dude,
Maybe it will be. It's not fun for me, but there's a lot of people who enjoy it.
yeah, I like put 91 hours into Persona 5,
Oh,
and finished it. And
a lot of
like,
game.
apparently that was a speed run.
I guess.
I saw the hours other people were putting into Persona 5. I was like, I thought I had done everything in this game.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of game for people, you know. I mostly digest like 20-hour games. I don't think I've gotten that much in a while.
Yeah, It's strange to me. The other thing is like apparently I missed like a big thing to increase the amount of time that you can actually spend in Persona 5.
Yeah, main story, 97 hours on how long to beat. So you got it right there.
Could not imagine putting any more time into that game.
Yeah, some people play it twice. My coworker played it twice. He's played both versions. They're
Well, I mean
crazy.
just like into a run.
Oh yeah, hey, this Ditto chair though. I want to talk about this Ditto chair.
Do we have
Oh,
to talk about the Ditto chair?
Ditto's a chair, dude. And I can get an ottoman that's a premier ball or a great ball. Just chilling out like this lady on her phone and this promotional picture that's like on the verge.
This chair makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I want I want a version of the chair that has its tongue coming out. Yeah. Me and that Ditto are gonna get real close.
I
This chair's not canon, but that's okay, Austin.
I don't like it.
Look how dead its eyes are, Austin.
It's yeah, no, it's I don't need to feel Ditto's like dead stare
Yeah, it's a
coming at me.
mirror of my phone, of my own form.
And like I'm just if I sat in this chair, I'd be like constantly afraid that it's just going to become a bit goopy, and then suddenly the arms of the chair are going to expand and sort of cover me, and then it's going to begin absorbing me into its own.
The dead stare of Ditto eyes. Here, did you watch Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I saw Detective Pikachu.
Look at the dead eyes and this lady,
You
the
know,
Ditto lady.
it was horrifying.
It was
I went
horrifying.
I went to see that with a friend, and like it wasn't supposed to be a horror movie,
Yeah.
but like a couple of people screamed in the theater.
Oh yeah. The deadness of the. I'd like Detective Pikachu. That's fun.
You know, it's a fun movie. It's a good movie. It's fine. But like then it does this weird body horror stuff
Do it.
where it like has Ditto. I thought that was a bit of a stretch having Ditto like just copy a whole person.
Go for it. Someone did a cosplay as. Ah, my favorite is the Ludicolo screaming at the coffee bar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I can see why someone would do a cosplay up until you see the dead eyes. Like this is like a cool character. She's like you think this is like a secret agent for the baddie, and like she is, but like you think it's gonna be like a top tier like Pokemon
The
trainer.
Ditto. Yeah, this Ludicolo's reaction is Austin's reaction to the Ditto.
Oh yeah, no,
There we go.
we could not be we could not be consoled in that theater. It was horrifying.
All right, well, I think that wraps it for the episode. Austin, where on the internet can people find you, Austin? What's up?
People can find me at Beardless2 on Twitter, TWO2.
All right, and I'm at Travis23 Doyle on Twitter. All right, catch you later, everybody. This is where you say goodbye, Austin.
Oh, is this where I say goodbye? I need to say goodbye? Okay, bye.